Years of civil war, drought, and famine have scarred the Republic of Chad. This North Central African nation is desperately poor and almost totally undeveloped. It has one of the lowest per capita incomes in the world, and its harsh conditions have taken their toll on the people. Most battle daily to find enough water, enough food for their families to survive. Life expectancy at birth is only 45 to 50 years. The children of Chad have seen so much, too much. They seem old beyond their years. Few people in Chad have heard the good news of Jesus Christ. Yet Global Mission is now bringing hope to the heart of Africa. Chad is landlocked, sharing borders with 6 other countries. It has less than 8 million people, and more than half the population is Muslim, while a quarter hold to traditional, mainly animist beliefs. Although the Seventh-day Adventist Church has been present in Chad since 1967, by 1992 there were just 788 members. However, Global Mission is now making a difference in Chad, and local members are excited about outreach. In the past 6 years, the number of church members has increased by 50%. But the needs are great. Church members have virtually nothing. There are only a handful of Adventist pastors in the entire country, and although they have huge districts to cover, none have any means of transportation.
Like the church in Macedonia, in Paul's time, we are calling on the World Church to come over to Chad and to help us.
Despite the difficult conditions, the church is enthusiastic about sharing the love of God.
Even though our mission is poor, there is nothing, but I think I am the happiest person in this country.
The capital city, Gemina, has an Adventist elementary school where more than 700 students attended in 1991. It has now shrunk to just over 300. The children learn in primitive conditions, and unless the church builds new classrooms, the government has threatened to close the school. This would be a major setback to Adventist outreach in Chad, since most of the children are coming from Muslim and other non-Adventist homes. Many are learning of Jesus and his love for the first time. In 1997, the Chad Mission sent out 18 Global Mission pioneers who have shown the light of the gospel in unentered parts of the country. They have established more than 10 congregations. When funding for the Pioneer Project finished later that year, 6 of the pioneers continued working without any financial support for a year. The church has a marvelous window of opportunity in Chad. Despite sharing borders with Sudan and Libya, it is a time when this Muslim country has prided itself on religious freedom and peace. However, there are clear signs that the influence of Islam is strengthening and making its impact on the politics of Chad. Islam dominates Amman. The Muslim mayor of this Arab-speaking town has offered the Adventist Church land to build an Arabic-French school. This would give a huge boost to the church in this area. The Global Mission pioneer in Amman, Daniel, has broken down many barriers and opened up opportunities for the gospel. He continues to work despite receiving no stipend. When Daniel began work in the area, he was condemned as a Rosicrucian. This occult group had begun work in Chad at the same time as the pioneers, and many pioneers were mistaken for Rosicrucians, whom the people believed sacrificed humans to their gods. Each Sabbath, a group of 10 people worship in Amman. In May 1997, Daniel witnessed the first fruits of his labor, as 4 people in Amman entered the waters of baptism. For Daniel, this is only the beginning. He currently conducts 15 Bible studies a week. Daniel desperately needs funds for materials to build a church. Many people in the town have told him they will come and worship when he has a proper church. 16 of these 25 new believers in Qumran have been baptized. Work began in this city last year, but there is currently no pioneer because of lack of funding. After a recent worship service, nearly 20 non-Adventists indicated a desire to be baptized. Among this group was a Muslim, and many who have never been to a Christian church. One of the new believers is feeling discouraged because he's been waiting for so many months to be baptized, but due to the drought, there is no water. The next-door neighbor of the elder caring for the new Adventist congregation tells of listening to his family worship and pray each day. Her 4 children and her husband had died. and she was left alone. She discovered great happiness and calm when she heard the Word of God and was able to sleep at night. Global Mission pioneer Khalso Jean has continued working in Doba, even though his stipend stopped in July 1997. When he arrived in this city, there were no Seventh-day Adventists. Today, there are 18 baptized members and 25 people worship each Sabbath. After arriving in Doba, the first thing Khalso Jean did was contact local authorities to introduce himself. After that, he looked for a place to rent. Then he started visiting the people of Doba door to door. Khalso Jean currently has about 20 Bible studies each week. He tells the story of preaching to a drunkard who pushed him away and told him that he had already heard everything about the Bible. Khalso left him alone, but kept praying for him. Some months later, he came to Khalso and told him he wanted to be baptized. Gurubay, a married man with 4 children, is working in the unentered town of Mwasala. He says that when he and his Global Mission partner started working, they were treated as if they were animals. Mistaken for Rosicrucians, people wouldn't even let them buy produce at market, but they just kept praying. A boy in Mwasala was mentally deranged and tied with chains. The 2 pioneers came and prayed with him. After 3 days, he came to his senses and asked to be released. "I'm not sick, I'm healed," he said. Today he is fully recovered. There are now nearly 50 baptized Seventh-day Adventists in Mwasala. Among their number are former prostitutes and drunkards, who these pioneers have brought to Jesus. Today, hundreds of people are willing to hear the good news about Jesus.
I used to run around with women and drink and smoke. Jesus has now changed my life. My friends and I used to do many bad things around town. After the pioneers taught me the Bible, I've been baptized, and I've left my bad ways behind. Jesus has saved me and washed my guilt away.
I used to be a prostitute, but having become a Christian, I have left my past behind me. My former life was a nonsense, and the only way to be saved was to follow Jesus Christ.
The sick are being healed. The demon-possessed are being freed. Those without hope are being given new hope in Jesus. The heart of Africa is in the heart of God.